Some leaders wear crowns. He wore a burden, not for glory, but for the mouths that waited by terrace and tent, for the wounded who whispered his name at dawn. He asks no ease, only straight paths, clean hands, and hearts that do not run when drums fall silent. Tonight the standard breathes in the wind. At first light, duty marches. He stands between camp and fields, not on a dais, but in dust. Children first, he says, and grain moves from army sacks to village bowls. Officer rations shrink without complaint. Guards carry water for elders. A patrol escorts farmers to their terraces and posts sentries so hooves won't break the new shoots. A quick raid would fatten the ledgers, but starve the land that must feed both faith and future. He signs orders barring pillage and profit from fire. The march will be slower, rougher, more dangerous, because it must pass through tomorrow, still able to pray. Behind him the banner lifts, before him the road tightens. Around him, men understand what kind of victory is being chosen. He rides with a stitched wound under his cuirass, salve still damp. The surgeon begs an hour's rest. He gives him 10 breaths. When the scouts bring rumors of a broken ford, he goes to see the river with his own eyes, lamp-hooded, match cords dark. Sleep is bought and spent like powder, carefully under ration. At midnight, he is a map. At dawn, he is a man again, mounting as if the saddle were a prayer rug. He eats last, and little. His tent is a cloak, thrown near the ranks. When a scout's horse fails, he trades reins without ceremony and walks back on foot beside the limping animal, speaking softly to both beast and boy until the wheel of fear stops turning. The mountain is not an obstacle, it is an instrument. He shapes the day with ridges, lure, fix, flank. A decoy file scratches a path to bait pursuit. The center breathes like leather, yielding just enough to make the enemy lean, then locking like a trap when horns call the turn. Flanks climb where hooves should not go, owning the higher breath. Scouts lay ladders from ridge to valley to ridge, so no pass is crossed blind. False trails and cold fire pits seed doubt into enemy feet. At night, the host moves sideways, appearing at dawn where no map would forgive it. He does not ask the mountains to move. He teaches the army to breathe with them, slow, deep, and deadly. Steel does not win alone. It wins when it sings in chorus. Ahmed Girri sets matchlock nodes like lanterns along the line. Front rank fires, peels, reloads behind shields, rear rank steps in, then yields in turn. Shield and spear absorb shock, teeth bared only when the drum says now. Mounted wings, Somali, Harari, Afar, do not chase glory. They close corridors, cut fodder lines, and vanish before the enemy can name the wound. Powder is a covenant, no spark wasted, volleys only at ranges that matter, files rotated so the music of fire never dies. When the smoke hangs low, he lets the tempo fall. then strikes on the beat the enemy forgot to hear. The circle is small, the fire smaller. He eats what they eat, lifted from the same pot. He prays among them, not ahead of them. He asks the wounded for their stories, learns which son is learning letters, which mother's bread smells of fenugreek. A brother of the sword tells of a night so cold that a scout shook like a leaf, how the Imam laid his own cloak over the boy and stood the watch himself. No trumpet, no scribe, just a hand on a shoulder and a name spoken low. When he rises, the men are no longer following a title. They are following a man who carries their names into every verse he whispers before dawn. Bati stands beside the map with modest grace. High-collared robe, long sleeves, layered bronze ochre turban, cloak drawn, no neck, no arms, no spectacle. Her voice is steady iron. Spare those who surrender, be stone to those who trade bread for blood. She lays evacuation routes for villagers, marks water points, assigns women watchers whose hands know both bandage and ledger. The Imam listens, then nods. Mercy is policy, not posture. Orders leave the tent clean and precise. When a wavering clan begs for late forgiveness, she speaks with the weight of graves and oaths until their knees remember the ground. Beside her, Ahmed Girri translates plan to signal. 3 drums to wheel, 2 to faint, 1 to vanish. Ghosts hunt at night. He hunts the spaces ghosts prefer. Scout ladders staggered by breaths, decoys that burn without smoke, pickets posted where water narrows, messengers paired so news does not die in the reeds. Pack animals disperse in small knots, never a single fat target. Field forges bite iron back into shape by starlight. Spoils are weighed where tempers cool, a fifth set aside, the rest by rule, not by blade. Theft from civilians is flogged even when the thief wears a crescent. Prisoners who kneel are fed and counted. Those who try the rope are reminded why it was cut. Logistics is not romance, it is the spine that keeps a promise walking. He signs the order that saves 3 villages by diverting the march around their terraces, even though it costs a day and blood. He signs the ration cut that moves flour from officers' bowls to the cart of widows traveling at the rear. He signs the punishment for a man who stole a farmer's kid goat, and the pardon for a boy who dropped his spear to lift a child from a flood. Each signature is a coin from the purse of victory, spent before the counting house opens. When the pen lifts, he breathes as if a weight has argued with his ribs and finally agreed to sit there. A sacrifice is not a loss, the voiceover says. It is the bridge others cross. He never promised triumph, only duty. He never promised ease, only the straight path through stone and storm. If thunder is coming, let it find him with clean hands and a banner that has not bowed. Tonight the highlands are quiet, listening. In that stillness, a leader trades comfort for consequence and writes the bill in his own blood. This episode is dedicated to Imam Ahmad ibn Ibrahim al-Ghazi, defender of the horn and light of Harar. I offer this work as a small tribute to his courage, discipline, and the mercy he carried into war. To the Harari people who kept his memory through fire and silence, and to every family that guarded the verses the names, and the banner. May our children inherit not the wounds, but the wisdom. Fahmi Zakaria. Harari, Habosa Studio. Creator of the Conquest of Abyssinia series.